What we do here is go back.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of HealthCheck by the one and only Scale Up Mercurius. Today, my good friend Danzel and I are talking study tips. And by study tips, we mean the whole package. We're going to be talking to you about how to boost your productivity levels, how to manage your time wisely while studying, how to defeat our number one enemy, procrastination, and how to get yourself into that 100% work efficiency zone of focus and concentration. Now, we don't guarantee that all these tips will work out for you, but it definitely did for us. So yeah, that was just a quick disclaimer before we start. Anyway, stick with us through this entire video, learn a thing or two, and maybe even apply these things to your daily routine of rigorous online classes. Without further ado, let's welcome Danzel as she shares with us her very first tip.
Hi guys, I am Danzel Grace Espanias and I will be part of this video. Hi, wow. I will be talking about my tips on how to be productive or avoid procrastinating during quarantine or online classes. So, yes, always remember to have self-efficacy. Self-efficacy means that you have the capability to execute kinds of behaviors necessary to produce certain task or performance that could really help you avoid procrastinating and do your work. So what I do there is I take down notes and organize them as by subjects or whatever that is, and I also try to segment tasks. Segmenting tasks by ordering them from hardest to easiest, and also add breaks and all. It's just like managing your task on a paper, you know what I mean? I'm not sure if this would help, but it really helped me a lot by segmenting my task and all, so I could do it efficiently. So yeah.
Okay, so my second tip is to stop thinking and to start doing. Now, this is kind of difficult to process because when we're faced with a big task, usually we don't want to deal with it yet because of how heavy or how stressful it sounds. So we push it away, push it maybe to next week. I'm gonna do it next week. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. And that is bad because that leads us to procrastinate. Although we know how burdensome this project is, we know that the worry of not doing it is more burdensome. And this leads us to procrastinate. We procrastinate because we are scared, and that's the truth. So the best and only way to defeat this procrastination is to actually start. Beginning a project or a task, any task at all, is the hardest part of accomplishing any goal. It's always finding something to start with that's difficult. So for me, the best and only way to overcome this is to find a small step that will bring you just a teeny tiny bit closer to your goal. Now, for example, for me, I've been putting my long-term requirements on hold for this quarter, like for example my synthesis paper in biology. So for that, I didn't want to feel the same way that I did last quarter, where I crammed my entire synthesis paper in a week. I'm sorry, Ma'am Gajon, but anyway, that is true. So this quarter I promised that I would start on it earlier, but still, of course, I was tempted to procrastinate. So what I did was just do this one tiny step, and for me that was opening a Word document file. Now, that was it, just opening a Word document file, putting the title of our synthesis paper, my groupmates' names, and my name, and that was it, just that. At least that was one paper already. I was 1 over 20 pages of my synthesis paper, but that's progress. So that's one out of the many steps that you need to take, and that's good. But after I do this, I try to encourage myself to do just one more step that will bring me again a little bit teeny tiny closer to my goal. So for example, what I did was searching references or a possible research topic, and well, ultimately that led me to doing even more steps, like writing the introduction. Well, obviously not right away, but that encouraged me that maybe tomorrow I'll start on this introduction. I'll start assigning my group mates to do this and that, and that's again progress, and that's good because progress beats procrastination. So again, although starting is the most difficult part of accomplishing something, anything at all, it is necessary, and you need to get through this, even though it will be the hardest decision that you might ever make during the whole duration of your project. But ultimately, you will get through it, and if you're dedicated, you're going to get through it faster than you'll ever think. And this will work. This is gonna work efficiently if you're dedicated enough. And of course, the benefits, you avoid days of crammed work. So that's it for my second tip.
What I have been doing before, I didn't really set my schedule on point because I was too lazy and all. And I didn't notice that I was running out of time. So I set my schedule like I do my task at the afternoon, night, until 10 p.m. because I really need sleep. And also always remember to take breaks. Add that on your strict schedule because it will really burn you out if you won't take breaks. I swear, it's exhausting and all. But that's my next tip. Yeah, set strict schedules.
Okay, tip number 4. Now, this fourth tip involves something that we should all avoid to enhance our productivity levels. And this actually hits a little close to home because I myself do this from time to time, even unconsciously. This is multitasking. Now, at first, multitasking might not seem a little bit hard. You know, you're just planning to do multiple things at once. If you can't finish this requirement at this point in time, then you do something else, and so on until you can't focus on either one of them, and you end up having no productive results for that day at all. And then you realize that you would have done much more if you just focused on doing one thing than many things at once. This is how multitasking becomes a productivity killer. Essentially, switching tasks is not compatible for our poor brains. It literally develops mental blocks as we're trying to shift into like different areas of learning. For example, if you're doing Filipino, it would be very difficult for your brain to transition to biology or something else. And well, even if you do want to multitask because you want to get stuff done, I myself think that it's better to do these tasks like one by one, because that gives you more time to focus and concentrate on one task instead of dividing your attention into the many tasks that you have. Even though you might be like overwhelmed by the number of tasks that you have, it is really much better if you focus on one thing first, attack that first task first, and just, you know, be patient with yourself as you're trying to process and get through one of them before tackling all the others, because that will for sure give more fruitful results than having all those attack you at once. And you know, we want to be more productive, we want to use our time, we want to manage our time more efficiently. So to do that, we would have to avoid multitasking. Just Do things one by one, focus on each one of them, try your best, and if you think that one of these tasks is difficult for now, then, well, you could always come back to it later, but it would be great if you tried to finish it all in this one time. Ask for help or devote some time to learning the lesson or anything else that might help you finish the task. Just don't do 2 tasks or more at the same time. So that's it for my 4th tip.
Don't hesitate to ask for help, guys. I swear. This will really help you throughout your online classes journey because me myself, I really do have struggles in learning on by myself and all, and it's really hard to cope up pa rin kahit 1 year na it's been 1 year na and all. But yes, asking for help really helped me in understanding more of our lessons and modules and all. So yeah, that's also another tip that's really really helpful for us, I swear. And also, if another person asks for your help, please don't hesitate to help that person because all of us really needs to work together to survive this kind of mode of learning. Yes.
Okay, tip number 6. Try to imagine your future self a few days or a few weeks from now. Just try to think of what she or he would be thinking or doing. And imagine him or her saying the words, "I wish I could have done this earlier," or "I wish I'd already finished this so that I don't have to do it right now." Try to identify all those tasks that your future self would be complaining about and see if you can actually accomplish these tasks as of the moment, like your present self. If you are capable of doing these tasks right now, then you would eliminate the burden for your future self and decrease his or her worries in the future and ultimately your worries in the present, because you wouldn't have to worry about it right now, and nor will your future self will have to worry. This takes more of your spiritual or mental well-being rather than your body. So since you're the only person who truly knows yourself, then you're the only one who can identify or predict what your future self would be thinking a few weeks from now. And try to deal with all these things as of the moment, because it will only be for your benefit in the long run. You won't have to do it later because you're already finished doing it, or you're already doing it right now. So try to think of these things, try to think ahead, be prudent, make those hard decisions right now so that you can save your future self from doing it. And also in doing this, you will have to learn from your past mistakes or your past experiences and apply this to your current decisions. And just take into consideration what your future self would be doing. Always do this because it really helps, and it helps eliminate your future self from procrastinating as well. So on to the next step.
Okay, another one is, I really feel guilty about this, but don't or stop making excuses to avoid doing your task. Like, hala, ugma na ni, kakay kapoy, manggid, makaya raman ni, like that. Or, I think I should do this tomorrow since it looks easy and all, but then the other day you'd be like, oh my god, this is so hard, what do I do? And then you start panicking. So stop making excuses at all. Like, just do it. If you have time, do it. And also, don't overwork yourself. It's really a struggle to overwork yourself, and I swear to God, the moments I cried during the beginning period of online classes, I cried a lot and breaking down a lot because it's too much load of work to do and all. But yeah, stop making excuses to try to avoid your task and all, since it will just make you stress more, since you're just compiling the tasks that you will be doing, like, oh, tomorrow, since tomorrow na lang, ganun, because I'm doing this and that. Yes, but this will really help you to be productive.
Okay, so for the next tip, my tip would be consistent, but don't hesitate to try out new things. Now, this applies to this field, to studying, because by be consistent, I mean that whatever you're already accustomed to, like for example, if you have study habits or studying techniques that you currently use or you currently have while you're studying, then you most probably should stick to it, because that means you're already comfortable practicing these study habits and it works out well for you. So good for you. But also, if by chance you come across like a studying technique, don't be afraid to try it out, because you never know, it might work out well for you, or maybe it's really what you need. Like for example, my sister recently told me her troubles on managing her time properly while studying. So I recommended her to use the Pomodoro technique. If you don't know, it's a time management method of like dividing your work time into 25-minute intervals, I think. And you also have break times within it. And although I don't use this technique myself, my sister told me that it's really useful, and she has been practicing this for 2 weeks already. And I think I might try it out, but since it works out for her, then it might work out for some of you too. So just don't be afraid to explore new techniques. Stick to what works out for you, but also don't be afraid to try new things. That's it for this next step. On to the next one.
Yes, another one is optimize your environment. Find a spot that you're comfortable with, not really that comfortable, but that can make you very sleepy and but comfortable for learning, since the environment also affects the kind of study habit you will have. For me, I like it alone or in a cold place with books and all, without any distractions like my phones and all. But still, that's not avoidable. But yeah, find a place that's really good for yourself, your privacy, so sa ganun. Just find an optimized place that's good for studying and reviewing without making you feel sleepy and also distracting yourself. That's all for me. Bye-bye.
Okay guys, now we're on the very last tip of this episode. Tip number 10. Now, this tip in particular has proven to be effective 100% by myself. And I don't know if you've been using this, but I have. And it has been working out really well for me ever since I was in 6th grade. Like, really. And I have also recommended this tip to my friends. I don't know if they're still using it, but I can attest that this will really boost your productivity. This tip is delete all your social media applications on your phone while you're studying. If you want to focus during exams, just do it. Just delete all those social media applications. Don't hesitate. Delete everything. Delete Facebook, delete Instagram, delete Twitter, even YouTube or Netflix if that's what distracts you during your supposed study time or your schedule. You don't know how much this will impact you, because I myself, when I started doing this, I realized how many times a day I just get my phone and unconsciously click the Facebook icon or the Instagram icon, and I do that unconsciously. Like, I don't know how, but it has probably been ingrained in my fingers or in my mind to just unconsciously click on Facebook and just scroll away. So I know that Danzel has already been talking about distractions and how to eliminate them, but this in particular, this deleting your social media apps, it will really manage your time wisely. It enable you to be more productive. It will help you prevent wasting your time when you want to study. It really does check all the boxes, and it has made me realize that, I should just keep going on with studying. And even if I had the strong urge to just scroll through Facebook or Instagram, I should just continue studying even though like there are distractions all around me. So just eliminate, delete your Facebook, delete Instagram, delete anything that comes as a distraction to you. Delete your social media applications. I swear this will really help you. It has helped me, and I know that most of us are probably very, very interactive on Facebook or any other social media app. So it really helps. If you want to be productive, just delete. Don't hesitate. Anyway, that is our last tip for this episode. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that you learned a lot. I hope that you maybe applying some of these tips in your online classes or your studying or anything at all if you want to accomplish any tasks. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Tune into our next video coming soon, and don't forget to like this video and tell us what you think in the comments below, and of course subscribe to our HealthCheck YouTube channel. Thank you so much, and bye bye. Stay safe, guys.